Welcome, bronies! And eventually non-bronies. Yes, I will try to reach out to another groups than our pony lover. Sorry, wrong description. Just start off again. I want to say, today I would like to look out of the fandom and talk about a topic that struck at me personally. Why are so many fans trying to write fanfictions? And for me personally, why do I write fanfiction? Okay, enough with the house advertising, alright. When someone joined the herd for the first time, he gets it easily that our fandom is like many others and didn't stand far away from one thing: fan theories and headcanons.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Neelix, not a decorator.
And both are indirect. The greatest time grave of our whole fandom, besides the series itself.
Are you sure about that?
Yep, I am. And before you all lost interest, please hear me up. Fan theories and headcanons are neither 100% canon in the series, nor denied from it. Like reviews, who we are consuming to get different point of views of the series, the headcanon spreads from the open kind of serious events and build up. We love to ship, a topic I will address in the future, and to interpret. Every media which we decide to spend time with it can easily overlook like this. Series, movies, books, etc., etc. And every media can be honored with fanfictions. Like my usual approach to the theme, I'm going to show you a few reasons why everybody thinks that he can write fanfictions and test the reasons out of their plausibility. My first statement is, fanfictions are different from the usual creative writing because the characters and settings for them are created long ago from other authors. For that fact, I would like to show a personal observation. Every brony likes most another main six pony, and every brony has a personal distinct view of the main six. I love the most. Okay, this leads to nothing, I know. Every character is clearly written, but everybody interprets them different. The more it shows out for the main six, the more it counts for the side characters and background ponies too. Yes, we all know Twilight is an egghead and a bookworm, but what is with derpy hooves, for example? In our fandom circulated wild speculations about her role as mother, and more than one story featured her in this role. So does mine. Excuse my advertisement, it doesn't help here, right? But which evidence do we actually got from the show to support the theory? And is Derpy, as clumsy as she is, a good mother at all for a child like Dinky? What if she accidentally get loose of her medicine and Dinky takes the pills and... Yes, I have read this fanfiction. It is a good one, but it begs one question obviously. Are the characters believable written at all? I would say this depends from fanfiction to fanfiction. On the one hand, a few have really well-written characters which are behave like in the series. Most of these fanfictions are either the one who addresses the death of one of the main cast and the reaction from the rest, or who are developed around everyday problems. On the other hand, we have fanfiction with slightly changed characters, for example, to fall in love with one other. Of course, many chipfics are these kind of slightly changing story. They have to change the characters naturally to fall in love with each other, because the authors of the series hadn't that in mind for them. I have an example for this too. In this story, Twilight and Rainbow Dash fall in love as both are trying to help Scootaloo and rescue her from an abusive household. It sounds actually stranger as it looks like. I can easily spot the character alterations and can believe them quite easily too, and even accept them. I see that the story had done many things right, but honestly, it had done a few things not so well. Sorry, I had reviewed too many episodes of My Little Pony recently. Back to the statement. Yes, both stories are good examples for the character alterations, or the build-up for background characters. But unfortunately, I have read more than one story, or have listened to them, who aren't willing to take the time to explain the different character angle, but are tending to come out with a giant plot cannon and blow away all important things in a giant exposition dump. For this criticism, I have read many examples, but only to the point who drew me out of the story. My last example is a story around Fluttershy. She searches for a filly who is willing to play her filly, because she had lied to her family. I can see no mistake right here with it. She asked the CMCs for help, but Applebloom and Sweetiebelle refuse her offer quickly. Scootaloo, on the other hand, visits her back and says that she has time for it because she had lost her job. Of course, Fluttershy asked why a filly has had a job and where her parents were, but instead that Scootaloo simply lied to her. Sorry again, I start a review, right? I believe I have withdrawal symptoms right now. Where was I? Ah, right, characters. As I said before, just because the characters are established in the series doesn't mean that all authors see them differently as we see the characters in the series different by ourselves. The second aspect is the setting, and it is much easier to explain. Yes, Ponyville, and especially Equestria, is a simpler world, but the roots of magic and many other things aren't determined. So it is simpler to implement one of your own ideas if it is needed, right? Right. Hence fanfictions are de facto easier to write if, and this if is really important, if the author understands the characters or is able to differ them in a good and understandable way. But if they don't understand, they draw me away from the story and I will not dare to read it more. The second reason of all is a psychological again. Yep, I make it psychological in this analysis again. Deal with it, but I would like to put the cart before the pony. Many fanfiction deals with very serious events like death, war, and loss in a way which isn't fit in the series. Why were it so? Okay, beside the gore freaks like Cupcakes or Rainbow Factory, who are serving the lust from humans for violence and even sadism, there are many figs who are handle death, mourning, loss, and many darker themes with psychological death. Again, Stitches is a great example for this. It shows us how a mother who had lost her filly are giving herself the blame. About the form and style we can easily criticize here and there, but this is possible for all literary expressions. But one thing I couldn't criticize: the emotions behind the story. And many stories at Fanfiction are dealing with the pain of loss in this kind of manner. Dr.Wolf had here more than one story, for example, and his voice fit them perfectly, like... This is one of my earlier experiences with fanfictions at all, and a really touching one. Please listen if you like Scootaloo as a character. Or... This is an incredible story and a masterpiece about a redemption for Discord. It shows a really good characterization for the cast. Back to topic again. Why would we look for such depressing themes? I don't want to simply duplicate a more famous reviewer, but one statement comes in my mind from Silver Quill. Because humans are building up a connection with characters if they are easy, reliable ones. We like the main six, the CMCs for the most of us, and many other ponies, and we can easily sympathize with them because we like them. This identification is attended with an easy alienation from them because we can say that they are fictional characters which had a hard time, not ourselves. We can invest us emotional, but are also alienated enough to not get overwhelmed by these emotions. So, exploring without really suffering. However, this exploration helps us to deal with real mourning and loss, because we see a good handling of this emotion in most stories, and we can adapt this example. Now for the third reason. Because the stories didn't need so much quality like another piece of writing art. Okay, I know it is a weak reason, but neither are great skills nor really inspiration necessary.
What?
Alright, I will execute it more. A few stories have both of them, but nothing are a premise for the success in the fandom. No, I'm not mad about it. I'm just a little bit disappointed about it. Why? An obvious... No. I won't start with the point that many stories are more successful. Thought they had plot holes that a whole hive can... Alright, the series had this too. But many stories had problems with the characters of the main six. Yes, Pinkie Pie was here a little bit odd. But anyway... Sorry, this is just frustration of a writer who... Alright, we fast forward to my reason why I have started to write fanfictions. It was quite simple. I just wanted to be read. I see myself as a person who is pleased to write and is actually good with it. But nobody had read my stories. I have tried much writing contests and transmittal to publishers. But nobody read my stories. Yes, many authors are suffering on this condition. But I thought fanfictions are a way out of it. So I have started to write for an existing fan base, even if my stories are quickly changed back into a dramatic tone. I get a few readers right now and can tell that it is quite awesome to write a background story for Scootaloo. But without any kind of comments or only with a few about my strange English, I can't say if I am good or if somebody paid more than a slight attention to my story. All I want is feedback. Of course I will write and release more of my stories, but sometimes it sets me a little bit down that no one comment my stories. Of course, at Fanfiction the competition is very huge, I see it, but I want just a little bit feedback to improve myself. So give me some, if you like to do, okay? Back to the third reason. Anyone can write or put together words to make a story out of it. Yes, it is like in this movie. Anyone can cook. Just because anyone can make a dish out of ingredients with a recipe, it doesn't mean you can cook a tasty dish without one. Writing is exactly like this. If you read much, you realize quickly that every author had a different style and used knowingly next to set out characters, scenery or plot design. You can see it in Dickens' work with a quick characterization with physical characteristics or speech patterns, or Pratchett's unique use of different levels of storytelling, or Martin's quick character changes. Every author had a unique style of writing and create a unique opus out of it. And yes, the stylistic characteristics could be visible by fanfic authors too, but only by this one who had concentrated on doing so. But unfortunately, not everyone had. Characters flat as pancakes, contrived plots and hasty solutions and build-ups, and much worse, Mary Sue's. But the greatest chink is, at least for me, humans in Equestria! It doesn't fit for me, and I refuse to read any one of this kind of story! Sometimes I would like to say to an author, read a book about creative writing. Show, don't tell. Read a book from Dostoevsky or Conan Doyle to improve your style, or look My Little Pony from a different angle as a drama critic or as a reviewer if you like. All this improves your sense for plot, scenery or character design. Good villains, for example, are characteristic, soft-focused, especially in Equestria. A villain is just then believable when he is multidimensional and the protagonist deserves more than just only positive qualities too. Every character has flaws and traits and deserves to look at both in a story. solely because fanfictions are usually the first step into the work as an author. It simply doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to improve yourself or deny constructive criticism. I'm aware that I have used in my stories a few disputable decisions and inept stylistic devices. Fanfics aren't different from other kind of writings and deserves all that we can give, and many others do it, but they can improve themselves, and I can easily too. And this is your part out there. You read the story, and if you like, you can be a critic. Not like the harsh critics who didn't have any decency to improve, but to criticize only. You're better than this. We are bronies after all. So criticize with an amount of friendly tone and write down praises for the good parts too. We authors need your opinions, your criticism, and are awaiting them with open hooves. Oh my, was I distracted to back to anyone can write. The reason why not anyone can write stories is obvious. How much time do you want to put in your development of style and creative writing? I had started creative writing many years ago and had done many mistakes in my early stories, but I become better. No, I don't say that I'm perfect right now, but I can say why I write as I do. For example, why I don't use character description in fanfictions. Because when I say Scootaloo, every brony had a picture from this filly before his inner eyes. Why I use so many body language and descriptions. Because I show in this way the emotions of the ponies and don't just tell them in one word instead. Every decision is a part of my style and I love it how it is. Now, for all of the authors out there, if I criticize your style or your idiom, I am sorry about that, but sometimes I didn't understand your styles. If your style isn't constant, do not worry. Mine isn't either. Just keep up writing. I hope you will be read and get constructive criticism. Distracted again. Alright, my last words for now. We are writing fanfictions because we can easily identify ourselves with the characters, the setting is very familiar and simple. And we like the ponies, of course. Oh, and there is a fan base out there, because no one writes just for himself. We want to be read, and more important, commented. If you want to improve your writing skills, read books about it, or ask the authors. They are certainly willing to help you. I'm too, if I have the time. My last warning is, creative writing is like an addiction. When you start it and feel the wonderful flow of creating something, you won't stop it and relive the same good feeling again and again. Enjoy yourself, all of you. And good luck for all the authors out there. My special thanks goes to Harmony Pie and The Abyss for the use of their story as an example. Yours, Redhatbrony, aka Lethrael.